Well, hello. So I think I found a way to keep in touch with you. This is Chris Emmons. I'm sitting on my back porch here in North Florida, and I'd like to share with you something amazing that I found in this old book, the American Journal of Pharmacy from 1841. So it's going to be about Ormus. And Ormus, in case this is new, is been around for a long time. We talk about it going all the way back to the Egyptian time and before them, since the people who created the Egyptian time were from a previous civilization. So I found something here that got me so excited that I've been calling my friends and reading it to them. I thought I'd do the same with you. I'm Chris Emmons. I'm a pharmacist. I wrote this book, Ormus Modern Day Alchemy, so that you could learn to collect Ormus for yourself. Collaborators and myself, my teachers, and I worked together and we created Ormus Academy, which is Googleable. And there are many learning units in there for you to deep dive into Ormus. This is your Bible for making it, and it tells you information about Ormus. I was told that I needed to offer Ormus as you were in the in-between time of learning it and making it for yourself, which is what I really want for you. So this is my discovery in action Ormus, which is collected. These are the trace minerals from the source material. It's one of the best source materials out there, and that's why I use it. I offer this source material in case you want to use it when you do the collection. There's also kits, ready to do kits, so that you can very easily do the collection yourself and learn hands-on in that manner. I do take this Ormus. It's another thing for like bring it into your great white life right now, these trace minerals and the energy that's associated with them, which we call M state. I'll take this soft slushy precipitate and I'll dry it to a paste. Now, I offer the paste, and if you add the paste, mix it in at the rate of 1 tablespoon to 16 ounces of your shampoo or your conditioner or your lotion or your massage oil. Now you have an Ormus infused, a trace mineral infused product that's ready to go for you to bring into your world. I do also hand bench make lotions with Ormus and soap with Ormus, which is another thing you can add the paste to if you make soap. There's so many ways. I have been a bridge for information to you, useful information that you can move forward on since 2004. With that said, I had ordered this book. I thought it would be interesting, and it is from 1841, and it is from the College of Philadelphia, I believe, the Pharmacy College. And what happens in this book, the Philadelphia College of Pharmacy puts it out, is that pharmacists would put in their reports and their experiments. Pharmacists were part of the alchemy stream going back. Chemistry came from alchemy and pharmacy came from chemistry. So I was reading the index this morning to see if there was something that would maybe be attributable to Ormus. And I found here on page 161, note on the stony substance used in China in times of famine under the name of flower of stone by M. Biot, B-I-O-T. So I went to 161 and this is what they say. So when we say that Ormus has been known way back in antiquity, this is 1841, and he's going to relay the stories from the peoples of China and other places. The details communicated to the Academy by M.D. Humboldt on the existence of a stony substance, which is sometimes used in Laponia in the times of scarcity, has called to mind a similar fact, an account of which has recently arrived from China and is reported in the missionary correspondence. My son, having also found the same fact, treated for many ages in the Japanese encyclopedia, with the dates annexed, I have engaged him to translate the passages which are there reported, and I think that the Academy will be interested in the collection of the documents on a practice which is the reality in reality more extensive than has been believed. The Japanese Encyclopedia, Book 61, relative to stones and minerals, contains an article entitled Chimenian or Chimien, Chimien or stone flower. The following is the translation, in which will be found the same superstitious ideas as those given by Humboldt for Laponia. Okay, Chinese word. The Pen Sao Kan Man says, stone flower is not an ordinary production. It is a miraculous substance. Some say that it grows in times of famine. Under the Emperor Heintsong, Hientsong, of the dynasty of Tang in the period Tian Pao, third year, 744 of the Christian era, a miraculous fountain sprung from the ground. The stones decomposed and were changed into flour. Okay, I'm going to stop here for a minute. You know, if you haven't known or heard or connected the dots, there are springs that put forth high pH waters, alkaline waters. And that's why all across the world, I mean, there's bad oases in the East and there's good ones. You'd have to taste the water before you drank it because it could be too high of a pH and it caused problems in you. The same with the settlers going west across the Oregon Trail. Just because they found a place to drink water, it didn't mean that it was sweet water. It could be alkaline water. So that's what they're talking is this is a fountain spring where the stones decomposed because the water pH was high, and that will disengage the stones. That's exactly what we do in the Ormus processes with our source material. We raise the pH so that the material will disengage and then form with what we've raised the pH with and fall to the bottom as a soft, slushy, amorphous precipitate. And then we let that settle, and then we wash it with pure water to remove any remains. And then that's our miraculous minerals. So now we get the understanding of the alkaline springs. This text is accompanied by a woodcut which represents the fountain flowing in cascades and the stones dividing into threads. That's what happens when the Ormus forms. You see them clump up and then attach to each other like strings and then get heavier and fall. Is this cool or what? But they are so incorrectly marked that we cannot assimilate them into any mineralogical formation. And that's because they have not coalesced to form what you see as a three-dimensional mineral. That's what he's trying to explain there. It's in this amorphous state. Under the Emperor Heintsong of the same dynasty in the period Wan Ha, 4th year, AD 809, the stones decomposed and became flour. That's what this is, okay? You see this precipitate on bottom, the slushy precipitate, and as you remove more water from it, it turns into like a wet flour. Manger. Under the Emperor Qingzong of the dynasty of Song, period Zai Fu, 5th year, AD 1012, there was produced from stone a substance like flour. Under Jin Song period, Kaya Yawa, 7th year, 1062, stone flour was produced or grew. Well, this is kind of growing, you see, because it started off as a clear liquid. And then as we did the process with the alkaline water, our own process with the alkaline water, we created exactly what he's explaining. We increased quantity that wasn't observable to begin with. Under Shizong period, Wanfang, 3rd year, 1080, the stones were decomposed and became flour. Every kind of stone flour was gathered and eaten by the poor. We have many source materials that we can use because each source material is going to have different levels of elements. They're all probably going to have all the elements, but some source materials will have more of this or more of that. And that's exactly what they're saying, eaten by the poor. The following is what is written in 1834 by the missionary in China, M. Maithuolai, L.Y., established in the province of Kaiansi. The facts which he describes are reported for 1834 and the 3 preceding years, so that they coincide with those cited by M. Rentz for Laponia. Okay, quote, many of us Christians would certainly have died of famine this year. God alone could not have relieved such extensive want. The whole harvest had been carried off by the overflow of the rivers. For 3 years, an infinite number of persons were sustained by the bark of certain species of trees, which are found in this country. Others ate a light earth of a white color, which had been discovered in the mountains. This earth was worth its weight in silver, and all could not procure it. This is the white earth. This is the white earth from the source material, as he's describing it. The people, listen to this, they ate it. The people at first sold their wives, their sons and daughters, afterwards their household utensils and movables, and finally demolished their houses to sell the materials thereof. Another missionary, M. Ramur, writing from the province Han Quang in the middle of the year 1834, gives no less deplorable details. Quote, the district Fan Hein, says he, contains about 1,000 Christians, but they have been horribly decimated by famine. I have seen a great number come to demand the last sacraments. They had calculated their resources and knew the number of days they had to live. They received the sacrament of extreme unction when they had exhausted their means and then calmly awaited the moment of their disease, end quote. To understand the occurrence of such calamities and their frequent return in a society so laborious, devoted to agriculture and regularly governed for many ages, it must be recollected that many provinces of China of greater extent than 1/2 of France consist of level plains traversed by large rivers, of which the bed is continually rising by the abundant deposit from the waters, so that they are compelled to restrain them by elevated dikes, kept in repair by immense labor. The provinces of Hankuan, Hankusang, and Kayasi, for example, of which mention has been made, are thus traversed by the Blue and other large rivers. These circumstances, giving every facility for irrigation, develop an extremely active state of agriculture, of which the bountiful produce is rice, which is cultivated on the undulations of hills, whence the water is carried by means of machines. As long as this state of things lasts, there is produced an immense quantity of necessities, which likewise gives rise to correspondent increase of population. But when the waters increase so as to overflow the dikes, it pours down upon the plain, inundates it and swallows a part of the population. Then those who escape from this disaster find themselves ruinous and deprived of every resource, inasmuch as the land is conversed by the waters and remain a prey to all the miseries which the missionaries describe, and finally die of starvation. This cause, joined to other catastrophes produced by earthquakes, which appear to be more frequent, more violent, and especially more extensive in China than in many other regions of the globe, instruct us in a great part as to the sudden vicissituousness of which Chinese history attests to having recurred many times among the population of this vast empire, vicissitudes which bear no proportion to the regular laws of European population, as may be seen in an account published in the Journal of the Asiatic Society, and of which I present a copy to the Academy on behalf of the author. And then it's signed Admiral, maybe that means it says AM dot DDECHIM Chim et de Physics. So there you have it, a reference to the miraculous fountains that create the flower stone. Maybe that's another name for Ormus, the flower stone. So there you go. We're doing great, aren't we? This is like majorly exciting for Ormus aficionados. They knew about the benefits of taking these minerals because they sustained on them. So I leave you now with the knowledge of the Ormus Modern Day Alchemy book so that you can learn to collect it for yourself, the Ormus Academy, so you can deep dive into Ormus in the 27 or so learning units, the fact that there is wonderful ready-to-use Ormus available at the website where the Academy is on the left side, the shop is on the right, Discovery Ormus. I bury my Ormus for 1 lunar month in the forest. I live in a forest. And in that way, it's infused with the energies of the earth coming up and all the atmospheric energies going into the ground. I then also drain it to a paste so that you can add it ready to go. I also hand make the lotions, the massage oils, the soaps. I'm in the process of nearing the end of making a wonderful Ormus toothpaste. I leave you now. I hope you learned. I hope you got excited to learn more about Ormus and know that we have 18, whatever it was, 41 from this book. They knew about the flood and those people from before that this is recording from. Thank you for spending the time with me. If this whole concept works that I get this on YouTube, I'll visit you more often. You can contact me at emmonsessentialessence.com. Give me your questions. I'll answer you, and then I'll answer them here for everybody. I have many websites or Facebook pages. Ormus, a page for beginners, is one that you want to join, and there we all learn together, and it's a nice group. And then there are other pages, and I have a newsletter that you can sign up for at the website. In other words, I'm here for you. The reason I'm here for you is because my mentors were Ormus researchers and an Ormus alchemist. And I just really had to know, I had to understand and know this stuff. And they were there for me. I'm so grateful. I am paying it forward. So on that note, have a great night. And it's my first time doing this, so I'm not sure how to stop it other than I see the word end. Bye for now.